doing today? I hope all of you are fine ya. Apa kabar kalian semuanya? Saya berharap kalian semua dalam keadaan baik-baik saja ya. Oke, nice to see you guys. Saya sangat senang sekali bisa bertemu dengan kalian. And today welcome back to English class. Oke, hari ini selamat datang kembali ke dalam kelas bahasa Inggris with me, Miss Vera. Dengan saya dan bersama saya, Miss Vera. Oke, today we are going to learn about narrative text. Nah, hari ini kita akan belajar tentang teks narasi. Oke, students. So, have you ever heard about narrative text? Or do you know what is narrative text? Nah, murid-murid, apakah kalian pernah mendengar apa sih teks narasi? Atau kalian tahu apakah teks narasi? Nah, so students, let's check it out this video. Okay, and keep watching. Before we go to the material, I want all of you know our learning objective for this material. That is, students are able to identify the social function, language features, and structure of narrative text. Nah, sebelum kita masuk ke dalam materi, saya ingin kalian semua tahu apa sih tujuan pembelajaran kita untuk materi ini. Nah, tujuan pembelajaran kita pada hari ini adalah murid-murid atau siswa mampu untuk mengidentifikasi fungsi sosial, unsur kebahasaan, dan struktur dari teks narasi. Now, we go to the definition and the purpose. So, in this slide, there are two questions. The first one is, what is narrative text? And the second, what is the purpose of the text? Jadi sekarang kita masuk ke dalam definisi dan tujuan. Maka timbullah pertanyaan, what is narrative text? Apa sih teks narasi? Dan apa sih tujuan dari teks narasi tersebut? Okay, students, let's see. Okay, the definition of narrative text is a story with complication or problematic events, and it tries to find the resolutions to solve the problem. It can be called an imaginative story. Jadi, definisi dari teks narasi atau teks naratif adalah sebuah cerita dengan kerumitan di dalam ceritanya, atau sebuah cerita yang penuh dengan problem atau masalah, dan biasanya diusahakan ditemukannya penyelesaian untuk menyelesaikan setiap masalah yang timbul di dalam cerita tersebut. Okay, next. So, what is the purpose of the text? Jadi apa tujuan dari teks narasi? The purpose of narrative text is to amuse or to entertain the reader with a story. Jadi, tujuan dari teks naratif atau teks narasi adalah untuk menghibur para pembaca dengan sebuah cerita atau dengan cerita-cerita yang ada. Language features. Narrative text has some language features. The first one is uses past tense. The second, specific noun as pronoun of person or animal. Then begins with once upon a time, long time ago. And then it has fantasy. Next, there may be a magic in the story. Then it has clearly defined good characters or evil characters. And last, it usually teaches a lesson or gives a moral value. Teks narasi memiliki beberapa unsur kebahasaan. Yang pertama, menggunakan past tense atau bentuk lampau. Jadi di dalam cerita or story in narrative text, di dalam teks narasi, always uses past tense. Jadi kenapa dia menggunakan past tense? Because every story in narrative text usually tell about story in the past. Jadi seluruh kejadian terjadinya di masa lampau atau sudah terjadi. And specific noun as pronoun of person or animal. Jadi kata with benda tertentu menjadi kata ganti orang atau kata ganti hewan atau binatang. Selanjutnya begins with once upon a time, long time ago. Jadi itu artinya adalah selalu dimulai dengan kata-kata seperti itu. Once upon a time, pada zaman dahulu, long time ago, ya. Kemudian it has fantasy. Dia memiliki fantasi atau imajinasi. There may be a magic in the story. Di dalamnya kemungkinan ada keajaiban-keajaiban yang terjadi di dalam cerita-cerita tersebut. Kemudian it has clearly defined. Jadi didefinisikan dengan jelas mana yang memiliki karakter yang baik dan mana yang memiliki karakter yang jahat di dalam cerita tersebut. Dan terakhir, cerita atau teks narasi biasanya selalu memberikan sebuah pesan dan biasanya di dalamnya juga ada nilai moral. So, after we know the language feature of narrative text, maybe all of you start to guess or know that you have read some stories which have some characteristic that is told. Ya, kemungkinan besar setelah kalian melihat unsur kebahasaan yang terdapat di dalam teks narasi, kalian akan mulai mengira-ngira atau mengingat atau bahkan tahu. Kemungkinan besar kalian sudah membaca beberapa cerita yang memiliki karakteristik yang sama seperti yang dijelaskan tadi. Structure of narrative text. There are 4 structures in narrative text. The first one is orientation. What is orientation? Apa sih itu orientasi? An introduction of a character in the story and when and where it happened. Apakah artinya? Jadi orientasi adalah pengenalan karakter dalam cerita dan kapan serta di mana terjadinya cerita tersebut. And then the second is complication. Tells the beginning of the problems which leads to the crisis, climax of the main participant. Artinya adalah komplikasi. Complication itu artinya komplikasi. Jadi di dalam komplikasi ini menceritakan permulaan masalah yang mengarah pada klimaksnya dari pemeran utama biasanya. And then the third is resolutions. How the characters of the story solve the existing problems in the complication. Jadi resolusi atau resolution itu adalah bagaimana karakter atau bagaimana para pemeran dalam cerita tersebut menyelesaikan masalah yang ada di dalam cerita tersebut atau dalam kerumitan yang terjadi dalam masalah tersebut. And then the last is coda. Coda is optional. So, coda is a closing remark to the story and it is optional. It consists of moral lesson, advice or teaching from the writer. Jadi coda ini adalah optional, bisa dipakai bisa tidak. Jadi intinya adalah coda ini merupakan sebuah komentar penutup dari cerita. Jadi biasanya terdiri dari pelajaran moral atau nasihat atau kemungkinan pesan-pesan dari penulisnya.
Once upon a time, a man named Butteraguru created a beautiful girl. Her name was Retno Dumila. Batara Guru was attracted to her. Batara Guru wanted to marry her. She informed him that he must meet 3 conditions: food with everlasting taste, a shirt that can't be ruined, and a gamelan, a traditional Javanese instrument that can play by itself. She would marry him if he fulfilled all of these conditions. If not, she'd rather die. So, Batara Guru sent a messenger to Earth to find all of these conditions. On the way to Earth, the messenger fell in love with Dueshri, Batara Wisnu's wife. The messenger always followed her. She became mad, so the messenger was cursed by Dueshri. Batara Guru continued to wait for the messenger. After a long time, he forgot about the conditions needed to marry Retno Dumila. After some time, he decided to try to hug her and see if she would consider marrying him. Suddenly, she died. Just as she promised, she would rather die than marrying Batara Guru without all of these conditions. He tried to bring her back to life. But, it was no use. And so, he buried her. After her funeral, some strange plants grew from her to feed the local citizens. From her head grew a coconut tree, from her body grew rice paddy plants, from her hands grew hanging fruits. And from her feet grew taproot plants. After that day, the rice paddy plants were spread all over the world. The rice paddy plants from the body of Retno Dumila became the master paddy. Another day, Dueshri was being chased by a wild pig. She asked Duwada, Hindu's god, if she could be banished instead of being chased by a wild pig. Plop. She was suddenly banished from the world. She also became rice paddy plants. These rice paddy plants were planted in a paddy field. A farmer named Pakdani was happy to plant Dueshri's paddy. He was taught how to farm the rice paddy. The wild pig that chased Dueshri died. Many kinds of insects that kill plants, like rats, appeared from his body. To fight the insects, Dueshri sent paddy-filed snakes to eat the rats. Because of this, farmers don't kill paddy-filed snakes anymore, since they kill the insects that eat the rice.
After you read and listen the story of rice paddy, so we are going to identify the structure of this story ya. Okay, remember there are 4 structures in narrative text. Ingat, ada 4 struktur di dalam teks narasi. The first one is orientation, second complication, third resolution, and the last is coda, and it is optional. Jadi ada 4 tadi ya, ada orientasi, ada komplikasi, ada resolusi, dan terakhir ada koda, yang dimana itu adalah optional. Okay, let's see. Orientation. So, in this sentence, start from once upon a time, a man named Batara Guru created a beautiful girl. Her name was Retno Dumila. It is orientation. Jadi, di dalam kalimat-kalimat ini merupakan kalimat orientasi atau struktur orientasi. Mengapa? Karena di dalam kalimat tersebut terdapat pengenalan karakter atau pengenalan pemeran di dalam cerita tersebut. Oke. Langsung ya. And then the second complication. Kita mulai start from Batara Guru was attracted to her. And then the last, until the messenger always followed her, she became maid, so the messenger was cursed by Dewi Sri. Nah, di dalam sentence ini terdapat masalah atau permulaan masalah yang terjadi dalam cerita ini. Jadi kita mulai dari Batara Guru attracted to Retno Dumila until Dewi Sri marah, ya, became mad. So the messenger was cursed by Dewi Sri. And then resolution. In the story, from Batara Guru continued to witness to the messenger until he was taught how to farm the rice paddy. Jadi resolusinya terjadi atau resolusi itu adalah, ingat tadi ya, resolusi adalah bagaimana karakter atau pemeran atau partisipan di dalam cerita tersebut menyelesaikan masalah. Nah, jadi tadi ada masalah pada complication, and then di sini ada resolution. Ya. And the last, coda. Actually in the story there is coda. Jadi ada penutupnya atau kalimat penutup dalam cerita ini. Ya. From the wild pig that kissed Dewi Sri died until since they kill the insects that it rise. Itu merupakan kalimat penutup atau kalimat, ya betul ya, kalimat penutup dalam cerita tersebut. So in story of rice paddy, it is all of the structures. Ya, jadi ada kodenya juga. Tadi meskipun dia optional, tetapi ternyata di dalam cerita ini dia menggunakan koda. Oke. Now it's your turn. Read and identify the structure of the story of Lion and Leaf. Rewrite the story in your notebook and your answer and upload it to the Schoology or your classroom. Okay, you can read this story by yourself or you can stop this video to read this story. Jadi kalian bisa membaca sendiri ya, dan kalian juga bisa menghentikan video ini untuk membaca. Read carefully ya guys. Okay guys, this is my last explanation for this material. If you don't get something from this explanation, you can ask me directly guys. Okay? So thank you for watching and have a wonderful day and see you.